I checked the flight time again. Nothing had changed. I still checked. "Do you have your charger?" I asked. "Yes." "In the side pocket?" "Yes." I nodded, then opened the flight tracker again. The plane hadn't moved. It couldn't have. I checked anyway. I don't remember when I started doing that. I've always been good at this, catching things before they slip, fixing things before they become problems. I just didn't notice when nothing was slipping anymore. The airport is already awake when we pull into the departure lane. Not frantic, just layered. Rolling suitcases over concrete, car doors slamming, someone arguing about which terminal. I check the departure time again, even though I checked it before we left the house. On the airline app, TSA wait time says 24 minutes. "It's fine," I say. "We're good." I say it the way I always do, steady, measured, slightly ahead of whatever could go wrong. We step out into the morning air. I glance at the digital departure board through the glass doors before we even enter. Still on time. Inside, the smell of coffee and disinfectant hangs in the air. The security line moves in uneven pulses. "Your meds?" "In the backpack." "Insurance card?" "In my wallet." I nod. I don't apologize for asking. I open the flight tracker again, even though nothing could have changed yet. The small airplane icon sits at the gate, unmoved. I screenshot the boarding pass, just in case. "Text me when you land," I say. "I will." "Even if it's late." A small smile. "I know." We inch forward in the line. I watch the bins move along the conveyor belt, shoes off, laptop out. I don't reach in to fix anything. I just stand slightly to the side, adjusting spacing so no one bumps into them. The scanner beeps. They walk through. Clear. They gather their things and head toward the escalator. I check the flight tracker again. Still on time. Nothing has changed. I open it anyway. I'm not missing them yet. I'm missing the version of me that knew exactly where to stand. Pre-boarding is called, then Group 1, then Group 2. They shift their weight. I stand too. "Text me when you land," I repeat. "I will." There's a brief hug, not long, not dramatic, just familiar. They step into the boarding line, scan the pass, hand it back, walk down the jet bridge without turning again. The doorway swallows them, just like that. I sit back down. The chair across from me is empty now. No backpack leaning against it, no half-zipped carry-on. The gate clears in slow waves. A cleaning crew member wipes down the armrests 2 rows over. I open the flight tracker again. The icon hasn't moved. It can't have. The plane hasn't pushed back yet. I know that. I check anyway. The announcement changes to another flight. Different destination. Different families. Boarding complete. The push notification appears at the top of my screen. I don't need to open it. I do. Departed. The word feels factual, not emotional. I stay seated longer than necessary. There's no reason to rush. No one waiting for me outside the gate. No one needing one last reminder. I stand, adjust my coat, walk toward the escalator, alone. I press the unlock button. The headlights blink once. I open the driver's door and sit down. The passenger seat is empty. No backpack, no water bottle rolling against the door when I turn. I close the door, and sit there for a moment without starting the engine. My phone buzzes. Airline notification. Flight departed on time. I open it. I don't need to. I know what it says. A small airplane icon begins moving across a thin blue line. Estimated arrival, 11:38 a.m. I calculate the time difference automatically. I don't need to. I do it anyway. The drive home is mostly traffic lights and brake lights. When I pull into the driveway, the house looks exactly the same. Porch light still on from when we left before sunrise. I turn off the engine. The ticking sound as it cools feels louder than usual. Inside, the air is still. I place my keys in the bowl. The sound lands sharply against the quiet. No one calls out from the kitchen. No footsteps on the stairs. Just the refrigerator humming faintly. I walk past the living room. Couch cushions slightly indented. Blanket folded over the armrest. Everything in its place. I move down the hallway. The spare room door is half open. I pause in the doorway. The bed is made. Closet door open a few inches. A few empty hangers sway lightly when the vent kicks on. No dryer noise. No music from a half-closed door. No voice asking where the extension cord is. I step inside. Sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress dips gently under my weight. I don't turn on the light. Sunlight from the hallway spills faintly across the floor. My phone buzzes again. Cruising altitude reached. I glance at it, set it face down. I'm not missing them yet. I'm missing who I am when I'm needed like this. No one needs a reminder tonight. No one needs a ride. No one needs me to double-check the boarding group. The house hums softly. The refrigerator cycles on. A truck passes outside. I stay seated, hands resting on my thighs. There's nothing urgent. Nothing tipping. I stand and walk back into the kitchen, open the fridge, close it again. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. The grocery list is still pinned to the corkboard. Milk, paper towels, battery replacements. I don't open the store app. I don't schedule pickup. I lean against the counter instead. My breathing sounds louder in the quiet. Not tight, not shaky, just singular. I walk back down the hallway and sit on the edge of the bed again. Same spot, same dip in the mattress. I look around. The walls haven't changed. The furniture hasn't moved. But the role I played in here, that's different now. I used to know exactly where to stand. At the doorway, in the kitchen, between rooms when tension shifted. Now there's no shift to anticipate, just still air. I sit there longer than necessary, not because I can't stand, because nothing is pulling me up. I open my laptop at the kitchen table. The shared calendar pops up automatically, blue blocks stacked against each other. Dentist next Tuesday. Car service reminder at 5,000 miles. Tuition auto withdrawal confirmation. Insurance premium due next week. I scan the week ahead. Move one appointment by 15 minutes. It makes more sense that way. No one asked me to. I do it anyway. My phone lights up. A notification from the health insurance portal. Explanation of benefits available. I open it. Scroll. Nothing urgent. Close it. A text from the family group thread. Photo of a dorm room. Unmade bed. A lamp too small for the desk. Made it, I type back. Looks good. I don't add advice. I don't ask about outlets. I don't remind them to check the window lock. I set the phone down. The dishwasher hums softly in the background. I stand and begin unloading it. Plates stacked neatly, glasses aligned. Halfway through, I stop. No one will notice if the bowls stay inside another hour. The thought feels unfamiliar. I leave them there. I just didn't know when it stopped being a choice. The sentence settles quietly. Not self-pity, not regret, just clarity. I used to move through the house like a quiet stabilizer. I could feel tone shifts before they were spoken, deadlines before they were missed, tension before it surfaced. I called it being steady. What if I'm the only one who feels the cracks? The question arrives gently, not accusing, just curious. I glance toward the hallway. The spare room door is still open. The bed still smooth. The closet still half empty. The house feels balanced, too balanced. I stand and walk into the kitchen again. Open the fridge, close it. There's nothing to fix, nothing to adjust, nothing slightly off. I walk into the hallway and stop midway. The air feels still. I don't know where to stand when nothing is tipping. I sit on the edge of the bed again. The mattress dips. My breathing sounds steady in the quiet room. Inhale, exhale. For years, I measured my day by how many small shifts I absorbed before anyone noticed. How many tensions softened before they became words. Now there is no shift, no friction, no forecast to manage, just stillness. And I'm not sure who I am inside it. My phone buzzes once more. Autopay confirmation, streaming service renewed. I glance at it, set it face down. The house hums around me, untroubled, unmoving. And I stay seated longer than necessary, learning what it feels like not to be urgently needed. The next morning feels ordinary. Coffee brewing, news murmuring softly from his phone, sunlight sliding across the kitchen floor. My phone lights up, insurance portal reminder. Normally, I would open it first, summarize it, forward it with notes. Instead, I leave it unopened. There's an insurance update, I say. He looks up from the table. Okay. It's in my inbox. He nods. You want me to look at it? Yes. The word feels heavier than it should. Not because it's dramatic, because it's new. He stands and walks over, takes my phone, opens the email, reads it carefully, scrolls back up once, then down again. They increased the deductible, he says. All right. I'll call. I don't move. I don't offer to dial. He steps into the hallway to make the call. I stay at the table. I hear his voice through the doorway, calm, measured. There's a moment when his tone tightens slightly, a misunderstanding with the representative. I feel it instantly. The old reflex rises. Step in, clarify, soften. I don't. He clears his throat. As I understand it, he says. There's a pause. Then his tone steadies again. Okay, that makes sense. He returns to the kitchen. Sorted, he says. I nod. Good. He unloads the dishwasher next. Plates stack slightly unevenly. glasses placed where I wouldn't put them. I watch. I don't correct. He shuts the cabinet, leans against the counter. "I thought you preferred handling this stuff," he says. "I did. And now? I don't want to be the only one." He studies that. "Okay." Later that afternoon, a notification pops up from the bank. Unexpected charge. He notices it first. "Did we authorize this?" he asks. "I'm not sure." He sits down, calls, waits through the automated menu, speaks clearly when someone answers. I stay on the other side of the table, not hovering, not adjusting. There's a pause. He writes something down, then hangs up. "Subscription we forgot to cancel," he says. "Refunded." "Good." He looks at me. "That wasn't so bad." "No," I say. "It wasn't." The shift is subtle, not triumphant, not dramatic, just shared. At dinner, the television stays off. We eat quietly. "You look different," he says after a moment. "How?" "Less braced." I think about that, about the small moments today when I didn't move first. "I'm not holding everything in place," I say. He nods. "You don't have to." I glance toward the calendar pinned on the wall. He reaches for it, writes the new car service date himself. Doesn't ask me where to put it. Doesn't ask what else is around it. He closes the marker and sets it down. The room stays quiet, and I let it. That evening after dinner, he goes upstairs first. "I'll be up in a minute," I say. He nods. The house settles into its usual nighttime rhythm. Dishwasher humming, a car passing outside, the heater clicking on. I stay at the kitchen table. My phone lights up. Auto pay processed. Streaming service. I don't pick it up. The screen glows for a few seconds, then fades. I stand and walk to the sink. The counter is already clean. The dishes already put away. There's nothing that needs fixing. I walk into the kitchen and realize there's nothing that needs fixing. I stand there anyway. My hands rest lightly on the edge of the counter. I look at the corkboard. Milk, paper towels, battery replacements. Nothing urgent. Nothing leaning out of place. For years, I could walk into a room and immediately see what needed adjusting. A tone, a schedule, a conversation about to turn sharp. Now the room is neutral, balanced, still, and I don't know what to do with that. I turn off the kitchen light. The house dims slightly. I walk down the hallway and step into the spare room. The door is still open. The bed still made. Closet half empty. I sit on the edge of the bed again. Same spot. The mattress dips under my weight. I don't turn on the light. I don't need to see anything. I listen. My breathing fills the room more than I expect. Inhale, exhale. Steady. Maybe I taught everyone I could carry it. The thought comes gently, without accusation, without bitterness. I was good at it. I liked being steady. I liked knowing the passwords, the dates, the backup plans. It made me feel necessary. I just didn't know when it stopped being shared. My phone buzzes from the hallway. A grocery app reminder. I don't go get it. I stay seated. The silence isn't heavy. It's open. I lie back on the bed and stare at the ceiling. The vent clicks softly. Warm air moves through the room. No one is asking me to soften anything. No one is waiting for an adjustment. The house is breathing on its own. I don't rush to match it. Upstairs, a floorboard creaks. He shifts in the bedroom. I sit up slowly, stand, walk back down the hallway. For the first time in years, I'm not scanning for what might tip. And I don't move to fill the space immediately. I stay in the hallway longer than I need to. The kitchen light is still on. The sink is empty. No plates soaking, no crumbs on the counter. I walk back in, open a cabinet, close it again. The dishwasher hum has stopped. The house doesn't need me to reset it. I stand in the middle of the kitchen, not leaning, not reaching, just standing. For years, I could walk into this room and feel where I was needed. A tone slightly sharp, a silence slightly too long, a schedule drifting off by 15 minutes. Now there is no drift, no edge to soften. The room moves without asking me to steady it. From upstairs, I hear him laugh softly at something on his phone. Not strained, not tight, just normal. The sound lands differently, not because it excludes me, because it doesn't require me. I realize something quietly uncomfortable. The house has its own rhythm now, and I'm not conducting it. I move to the fridge again, open it, cold air against my face, close it. There's nothing to cook, nothing to prepare, no lunchbox to pack, no permission slip to sign, no charger to remind someone about. I used to move through this room like a quiet correction, shift a plate, reword a sentence, rearrange a timeline. I liked being the one who knew where everything was. It made me feel useful. It made the house feel predictable. I rest my hands on the counter. They don't tremble. They just wait. I'm not missing them, not yet. I'm missing the version of me that knew exactly where to stand. Upstairs, footsteps cross the hallway. A door closes gently. Life continuing, without instruction, without pre-adjustment, without me moving first. The refrigerator cycles on. The vent clicks. The house holds its own weight. And for a moment, I don't know where my weight goes. The next afternoon, the house is quiet again. Sunlight cuts across the living room carpet in narrow strips. I sit at the dining table with my laptop open, but I'm not working. The shared calendar sits on the screen. Color-coded blocks. Dentist, service appointment, tuition withdrawal, grocery pickup window. For years, I kept it synchronized, every shift reflected, every detail aligned. I hover over the calendar entry for the car service. He moved it yesterday, 9 a.m. Friday. I resist the urge to adjust the reminder time. It's fine. He'll handle it. The thought doesn't sting. It settles. I close the laptop, walk into the kitchen, open the fridge, close it again. I'm not hungry. I'm just used to checking. My phone lights up. School portal notification. Updated syllabus posted. I tap it. The page loads. New PDF attached. I don't download it. I don't read it. I close the app. The instinct to stay ahead is still there, but I don't feed it immediately. I lean against the counter. The refrigerator hums. The house feels steady, not tense, not fragile. Steady. He comes home earlier than usual. "You're here," he says when he sees me in the kitchen. "Yeah." He sets his bag down. Tire pressure light came on in the car, he says casually. Normally, I would already be opening the maintenance app, looking up the nearest service center. Instead, I look at him. Okay. I'll take it in before work tomorrow. All right. He waits for a suggestion, for confirmation, for correction. I don't give any. He nods once. Good. He grabs a glass of water and leans against the counter beside me. You've been different lately, he says. How? Not jumping in. I think about that. Does it bother you? He shakes his head. No, it just feels new. It is. He looks down at his hands. I didn't realize how much you were doing before, he admits. I didn't either. Silence settles between us, but it isn't tense. It isn't something I need to soften. I liked doing it, I say. He looks up. Doing what? Keeping everything aligned? He nods slowly. You were good at it. I still am. I know. I let that sit. I just don't want to be the only one aligning it. He takes that in. That's fair. We stand there in the kitchen light, not arguing, not negotiating, just adjusting. Later, when we sit down for dinner, he reaches for the shared calendar again. I moved the parent meeting, he says. To when? Wednesday. It works better. I nod. He doesn't ask if it conflicts with anything. He checked. He handled it. The air in the room feels even, balanced. I'm not holding it up. He isn't either. We're both just inside it. And for the first time in a long time, that feels stable in a different way. I look around the gate area. A mother kneels in front of her teenage son, adjusting the strap on his backpack. You have your charger? She asks. He nods. Text me when you land. I will. Her hands hover for a second after she finishes adjusting the strap. Then she stands. I recognize the posture, the pause before stepping back, the quiet recalibration. I sit with my coffee in both hands. The cup is warm. My fingers are not cold this time. I don't feel hollow. I feel aware. My phone buzzes. Calendar sync notification. He added the car service receipt. I don't open it immediately. I let the screen dim on its own, filtering it, so no one else had to. I thought that was love. The boarding announcement crackles overhead. Group 2 may now approach the gate. I stand, not hurried, not braced, just ready. As the line forms, I notice something small. I'm not scanning for cracks. I'm not measuring who might forget something. I'm not rehearsing a backup plan. I'm just standing in line with everyone else. My phone buzzes again. Grocery reminder, milk, paper towels. I glance at it, then slide it back into my bag. It can wait until I land. The plane door opens. Air rushes lightly through the jet bridge. I step forward, not alone. Not carrying it alone either. And for the first time in years, I don't feel like the only one holding the structure together. I feel like part of it, not above it, not outside it, inside, shared. The gate agent scans my boarding pass, a soft beep. Have a good flight, she says. Thank you. I walk down the jet bridge, breathing steady. The sound of it fills my ears briefly, then blends with the engine hum. And maybe that's not loss. Maybe that's room. The grocery reminder will buzz again later. The house will still need tending. The calendar will still fill. But I won't be the only one reading it. And that feels not dramatic, not triumphant, just possible. When the plane lands, my phone reconnects, a soft sequence of vibrations. Calendar sync complete, car serviced, payment processed, receipt saved. He handled it. No request for confirmation. No, did I do this right? Just done. I don't respond immediately. I don't need to. I walk through the terminal with the rest of the passengers, suitcases rolling, shoes scuffing against tile. A man in front of me checks his watch. A woman behind me laughs into her headset. Life continues in layers. No one looks like they are holding the world up alone. Outside baggage claim, I pause for a second. Not because I'm lost, just because I'm noticing. I don't feel displaced. I feel adjusted. The hotel shuttle arrives with a soft hydraulic sigh. I climb in and sit near the window. The city outside moves past in wide gray stretches. Billboards, overpasses, exit signs. My phone buzzes once more. A message from him. Car's good. They said it just needed air. Dinner's handled tonight. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The words land differently now. Not as dismissal. Not as exclusion. As participation. I type back. Thank you. Then, after a pause, I appreciate it. The bus turns sharply. I brace automatically. Then relax. I don't need to correct the angle. I don't need to anticipate the next bump. The hotel lobby is bright, anonymous, temporary. I check in, take the elevator up. Inside the room, everything is arranged predictably. White bedding, neutral art, a thermostat set too low. I place my suitcase near the dresser, stand in the center of the room. It's quiet, empty room, not lonely, just empty. I sit on the edge of the bed, hands resting on my knees. Breathing steady. No one is waiting for me to smooth something tonight. No one is scanning my face for reassurance. No one is expecting me to read the room first. The absence feels unfamiliar, but not frightening. For years, I thought if I stopped stabilizing, everything would tilt. But the house didn't tilt. The calendar didn't collapse. The car got serviced. Dinner was handled. The system adjusted. I lie back on the bed. The ceiling above me is blank. No family photos. No reminders. Just neutral space. The version who stood between every draft and everyone else. The version who believed love meant absorbing first. I don't resent her. She was loyal. She was strong. She was certain. My phone buzzes again. Grocery reminder. Milk. Paper towels. I silence it. Not because it's wrong, just because it can wait. The room remains quiet. My breathing fills the space, then fades into it. For the first time in a long time, I don't feel like the only one who hears the cracks. I feel like someone else might hear them too. And that feels steady, grounded, not poetic, not dramatic, just real. The flight home is delayed by 20 minutes, not long enough to be disruptive, just long enough to test patience. I sit at the gate again. Different airport this time, different light, same rows of molded plastic chairs. A toddler cries somewhere behind me. A man near the window takes a business call in a voice slightly too loud. I check the boarding time once, then put my phone away. The delay doesn't require me to fix anything. It's just happening. I watch a woman across from me unzip her carry-on and pull out a granola bar. She splits it in half and hands a piece to the person beside her. They don't speak. They just share. Small, unremarkable cooperation. The kind I used to provide automatically. The kind I rarely received. My phone vibrates once. Text from him. Weather's changing here. Storm coming in later. I'll grab the patio cushions before it hits. I read it twice. He didn't ask what to do. He didn't wait for instruction. He noticed. I type back, "Thanks for handling it." Then I add, "You don't have to tell me every detail. I trust you." I stare at the message before sending it. Trust you. It feels different than control. He replies a minute later. I know. I just wanted you to know I saw it. Saw it. The cracks, the weather, the small shifts. I lean back in my seat. The announcement for boarding interrupts my thoughts. Passengers stand in loose clusters. I stand with them. No urgency, no sense of holding everything together before stepping forward. On the plane, I sit in the aisle seat this time. A woman about my age takes the window. We exchange polite nods. No conversation, just shared space. As the plane lifts off, I feel the subtle drop in my stomach, the moment of weightlessness. For years, I believed if I loosened my grip, everything would fall. But falling isn't always collapse. Sometimes it's just transition. When we land, my phone reconnects again. A string of notifications. Calendar updated. Insurance claim processed. School email summary. He forwarded the insurance explanation of benefits to himself. I noticed the detail. He reached for the insurance email without asking me what it meant. I don't forward it back. I don't correct anything. I just walk toward baggage claim. Outside, the air smells like rain. Clouds low. Wind steady. He pulls up at the curb a few minutes later. Window down. "You made it," he says. I did. He steps out to take my suitcase without being asked. "How was it?" he asks as we merge into traffic. "Good." "Busy?" "Some." He nods. "I handled the patio stuff. And the plumber called. I rescheduled for Thursday." "Okay." No follow-up question. No request for validation. Just shared information. We drive in comfortable quiet for a few minutes. Rain taps lightly against the windshield. The wipers move in steady rhythm. "You seem lighter," he says suddenly. I look at him. Do I? Yeah. I think about that. I feel less responsible for everything. He nods slowly. That's good. The house looks the same when we pull into the driveway. Porch light on, garage closed. No dramatic transformation. Inside, the kitchen is clean, mail stacked neatly, the recycling bin half full. Life continued while I was gone. Not perfectly, but adequately. I set my bag down and walk into the living room. The space feels familiar, not fragile, just lived in. I stand there for a moment, listening, breathing. The room is full of quiet, but it doesn't feel empty. He walks in behind me. "You hungry?" he asks. "A little." "I can heat something up." "I'll help." We move around each other in the kitchen, not choreographed, just coordinated. He hands me a plate without asking where it goes. I don't adjust it. I don't restack it. We sit down at the table. Nothing urgent, nothing to fix. The storm outside grows louder. Rain hitting the windows, wind brushing against the siding. I glance toward the back door. He notices. I moved the cushions, he says. I know. He smiles faintly. Habit. Mine too. We eat quietly. The storm rolls in fully now, thunder low in the distance. Breathing. 2 sets. Shared space. Shared awareness. The house holds. Not because I'm bracing it, because we are inside it together. And that feels not secure in the old way, but grounded in a new one. The morning after the storm, the yard is scattered with small debris, leaves pressed flat against the driveway. One of the patio chairs tilted slightly sideways. Nothing broken, just shifted. He steps outside with a mug in his hand. I follow a minute later. The air smells clean, washed. He sets his mug on the railing and adjusts the chair without commentary. I don't rush ahead of him. I don't inspect the fence line first. I just stand there. The sky is pale blue, uncertain, reset. You didn't sleep much, he says quietly. I did. Just lighter? Yeah. He nods. I used to think if I didn't stay ahead of everything, something would fall through, I say. He looks at me. And now? I think maybe I didn't give anyone else the chance to catch it. He absorbs that. No defensiveness, no correction. I didn't realize you felt like that, he says. I didn't say it. You didn't have to. The sentence lingers. I thought if I absorbed the tension before it surfaced, everyone would feel safer. But silence can also erase you. I walk toward the driveway and begin gathering the leaves into a small pile. He joins me without asking what needs to be done. We don't divide tasks formally. We just move. At some point, he hands me his mug. Hold this a second. I take it, warm ceramic against my palm. He bends to lift a branch that must have fallen overnight. For a brief moment, I'm not stabilizing the emotional weather. I'm just holding a mug. He straightens up and takes it back. Thanks. We step inside together. The house smells faintly like coffee and rain. In the kitchen, my phone buzzes. School portal update. I glance at it, then hand it to him. Can you check that? He doesn't hesitate. He opens the notification and scrolls. Looks like they changed the parent meeting time again. Okay. I'll adjust it. He walks toward the laptop without asking where the login is. He knows. I stand in the doorway and watch. Not because I'm checking for mistakes, just because I'm observing. He adjusts the calendar. Sync complete. He closes the laptop. All set, he says. Thank you. He steps closer. I don't want you to feel like you have to carry everything alone, he says. I look at him. I don't want to either. There's no dramatic embrace, no cinematic release, just understanding, shared. The cracks I thought only I could hear, he hears them too. He just didn't know I was listening for them alone. Later that afternoon, I sit on the edge of the bed. Same posture as before, but the room feels different. Not because the furniture changed, because my role did. I'm not waiting for something to need me. I'm waiting to be with someone in it. And that feels less certain, but more honest. This is heavy. Can you feel it too? and trust the answer. My phone buzzes again. Grocery reminder, milk, paper towels. I glance at it, then call out from the bedroom. "Can you add those to the list?" "I already did," he replies from the kitchen. I smile. Not because it's perfect, not because it's fixed, because it's shared. A week later, I'm back at the airport. Not for work this time. We're traveling together. Small trip, 2 nights, nothing elaborate. The departure gate is half full. People scrolling, people pacing, people pretending not to watch the boarding screen. He sits beside me, knees slightly angled toward mine. Our bags rest at our feet. I check the TSA line time automatically. 5 minutes. I refresh the airline app. The gate hasn't changed. I open the flight tracker, then close it. Nothing could have changed yet. I look at him. He's reading an email on his phone, not hunched, not tense, just present. "You have your charger?" I ask lightly. He looks up and smiles. "Yes." "And the insurance card?" "In my wallet." I nod. The habits are still there, but they're softer now, less urgent. He reaches over and squeezes my hand briefly. "You don't have to run point," he says quietly. I know. The announcement overhead crackles. "Boarding will begin shortly." Around us, people shift in their seats. A woman across from us texts quickly, then pauses and stares at nothing for a moment. The pause is familiar, the recalibration. I lean back and close my eyes briefly. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. The sound fills my ears, then blends into the hum of the terminal. "What are you thinking?" he asks. He studies me. "That's good," he nods. "I hear them too," he says. The boarding line forms slowly. We stand together, not one ahead, not one behind, side by side. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I glance at it. Grocery reminder, milk, paper towels. I show him. He laughs softly. "We'll deal with it when we get back." I slide the phone back into my bag, not because it's wrong, just because it can wait. The line inches forward. The gate agent scans boarding passes. Beep, beep, beep. Routine, predictable. I feel something settle inside me. Not resignation, not certainty, just steadiness. We walk down the jet bridge together. The air shifts slightly as we step onto the plane. He gestures for me to take the window seat. I do. He settles beside me. The plane begins to taxi. I rest my hands in my lap. They're not braced. They're not clenched. Just resting. I thought if I didn't absorb it, no one would. As the plane lifts off, there's that brief moment of weightlessness, the small drop in my stomach. He reaches for my hand instinctively. I let him, not because I'm afraid, because I don't need to hold it alone. Clouds spread beneath us, the city shrinking, the runway dissolving into distance. The plane levels out. Seatbelt signs still on, cabin steady. He squeezes my hand once. I squeeze back, and that feels... We land just before sunset. The runway hums beneath us, a long, steady vibration. The plane slows. The cabin shifts forward in small waves. People unbuckle too early, reach for overhead bins before the door even opens. He stays seated. So do I. No rush. The seatbelt sign dings off. Soft. Predictable. He stands and pulls down our bags without asking if I need help. I let him. We walk up the aisle together. No one ahead of us is moving particularly fast. No one behind us is impatient. Just bodies moving toward an exit. Shared direction. The air in the terminal is warmer than where we left. Different city, different light. Same soft hum of travel. I check the airport app automatically. Baggage claim carousel 7. I don't check twice. I don't refresh. We walk side by side. My shoulder brushes his once. Not intentional. Not avoided. Just proximity. At baggage claim, we stand near the belt. The rubber surface jerks to life. Suitcases begin to appear. A family a few feet away argues lightly about whose bag is whose. A man in a suit types quickly into his phone. I feel my own phone buzz in my bag. I don't reach for it. He notices. "You want me to grab it?" he asks. "It can wait." He nods. No further comment. The bags come around. Ours appears. He lifts it easily. We head toward the exit. Outside, the air smells faintly like salt. Ocean somewhere nearby. We wait for the shuttle. I sit on the edge of the bench and listen. Breathing. Engines. Rolling luggage. No tension in my chest. No sense of bracing for what might need smoothing next. He glances at me. "You okay?" "Yeah." Just quiet. I don't feel like I have to narrate everything anymore. He smiles slightly. "That's new." "I know." The shuttle arrives with a sigh of brakes. We climb in, find seats near the back. He rests his arm along the seat behind me. Not possessive, just there. My phone buzzes again. I take it out this time. Grocery reminder, milk, paper towels, auto pay confirmation, calendar update. Life continuing in the background. I silence it, not because it's wrong, just because this moment is not about managing it. I slip the phone back into my bag, look out the window. Streetlights flicker on one by one as the shuttle pulls away. He leans closer slightly. "What?" he asks. "Nothing," I say. Then I add, "Just noticing." "Noticing what?" "That I'm not the only one holding it." He nods once. "You never were." Maybe I just didn't look up long enough to see the other hands. The shuttle turns a corner. The city lights stretch in soft lines ahead of us, breathing steady. Room not empty. And that feels not dramatic, not poetic, just shared. And that feels possible.